Okay, well this is not a PSP as it appears. Let's take a look at this thing. It's pretty cool actually, in its own way. This is some kind of Chinese knockoff PSP lookalike emulator system with some other functions. It does have a joystick which actually doesn't feel that bad. D-pad, X square, triangle, circle, start, select, plus minus, that's for the volume. It's got the clear shoulder buttons that rattle a little bit on this guy. The rest of the system doesn't feel that unsturdy. It's not that poorly built, but those make a bit of noise. You have a TV out, USB, a microphone, and headphone jack. And on the back here it says Model 201 ZSSUBOR.com. That no longer exists. It's an on-off switch on the side that doesn't do anything. I don't know if it ever did. And let's plug it in and see what it does. Back here it also has, it says TF. It's for some kind of card. Where'd it go? There it is, TF. And there's some kind of like mini SD card or something. So I'm gonna plug it in. I'm just plugging it in with a wall charger, you know, a USB charger, and that guy, a mini USB, I believe. Yeah, mini USB, and it powers on. And it takes it a second, but lights up. And you can't really tell how good the screen looks because I'm recording on a phone, but it's not bad. That's you can kind of see. So let's go through the games here that are on here. They're not always as they say they are. So the first one is Metal Slug X. And if you haven't played a Metal Slug game, you should. They're awesome. This is Warriors of Fate. It's a beat 'em up. Fatal Fury 3. It's a fighting game. Road Rash Jailbreak, which is a Game Boy Advance game. So this is like an emulator system. It seems to do Game Boy Advance games, some arcade games, and Famicom games. Sorry, I had a brain fart there. This one that says Street Hoop is actually Street Jam Basketball for the Game Boy Advance. This is Punisher, which is a really cool game. It's a beat 'em up side scroller. Samurai Showdown 2, which is a fighting game. Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, another good beat 'em up with an interesting name. 1944, The Loop Master. This is a vertical shooter, and this is the Famicom version of it. King of Fighters 97, fighting game. So this thing is touchscreen. I'm going to go ahead and scroll to the next page. It actually, and you can select things with either the joystick or the D-pad too. As you can see, but Zao Cha, that game. This is a game where like there's a picture over here and a picture over here, and you use a little cursor and you pick out the differences between the two pictures. It'll burn time for a minute. The next one is Captain Commando, which is a really cool beat 'em up game. Knights of Valor 2, Oriental Legend. I think this is a China-only game. You can fight as like a pigman doing magic. I don't know. It's fun. This is Knights of the Round. I don't think that was in the US either. I could be wrong. Sengoku 3. It's a beat 'em up game. Ace Attorney I couldn't figure out because it's all in Chinese. Final Fight. This is Final Fight 1, which is a Final Fight ONE, which is a Game Boy Advance game. And this is Street Fighter, despite what it says, this is Street Fighter 2 Revival, which is a Game Boy Advance game. And this is Pretty Soldier Sailor Moon, which is, I think, a Japan exclusive. And it's a beat 'em up arcade game. And this is King of Dragons, which is an arcade beat 'em up. This is Dungeons and Dragons: Shadow over Mysteria, which is an awesome arcade beat 'em up, side scroller. This is Thunder Heroes, which doesn't work. Magic Sword Heroic Fantasy. It's a beat 'em up game. This is, it says Puzzle Bobble. This is Bubble Bobble 2 for the Famicom Classic. Neo Drift. This is actually a Rad Racer 2 for the Famicom. This is Castlevania for the Famicom. This is Contra for the Famicom. This is Royal. It says Royal Knight. It's Tactics Ogre: The Knights of Lotus, and it's a really it's a cool RPG for the Game Boy Advance. And this is Bubble Bobble 1. There's Bubble Bobble 2, Bubble Bobble 1. And then after that, you have these built-in games, which are not very good, and they don't have any sound. Some applications. There's FM radio, which actually works. Calendar, photo, music, movie. And I plugged this into a computer and tried to like drag things into the folders, and I can't seem to get it to like save any of the information. I don't know if it just doesn't work or if I'm doing something wrong. In here in game, there's actually a couple more games you can play if you go into the disc and into game. And this is Mega Twins, which is actually, it's Cheeky Cheeky Boys, which is a cool Capcom arcade game. And this is a Game Boy Advance version of Metal Slug. Can't go wrong there. And there's some music on there. I think there's like a Celine Dion song, whatever. So it has that going for it. Did I not hit that? Okay. And I'm going to play a game just so you can see that it works, and that it works pretty well. So one of the quirks of the thing is, see, the volume's at 0. You actually have to select your volume before you start the game, or else you won't have any volume. You cannot change the volume in the game, which is kind of a bad design, but let's play Metal Slug X. And it does take a while to load. Not forever, but long enough, and there's no loading screen here. Did I miss anything on the system? I think I covered it pretty well. Select start. Okay, there it goes. So, let's see, you can't really tell how good the screen looks, but it looks pretty good. So any of these games where you need to enter a coin, like arcade style games, you hit the left shoulder button and it puts credits in. I'm going to put a few in. I'm going to hit start. And I'm going to get going here. So there it is. You can use either the joystick or the D-pad there. Buttons all work good. It's pretty responsive. It controls well. I'm playing with one hand, but there it is. Yeah, so to get out of the games, you hit select, you go down to exit, and you hit circle or start. Either one works. I haven't figured out the save and load function. I don't know if it just doesn't work or if I haven't figured it out, but and we'll try one more just so we've got another game on there showing you. Let's do the Punisher. some of these games seem to take longer to load than others. And all of them are good, like they play well. I've had a couple of the games that kind of slowed down just a bit. One of them was Road Rash once, was playing kind of choppy. But in general, the games play really smooth. This is another one I think you gotta put credits in. And start. Yeah. So there it is. Yeah. Punisher. Alright, enough of that. Let's get out of here. Exit. There it is, the whatever emulator system from China. All these games play fine, except for that one that I said didn't work. Yeah. Pretty cool.